days with the idea that I was going to stop doing this event. Started in 2002, and I think there was one COVID year we didn't do it. We did it virtually one year. And it was because there just wasn't any poet that I knew about that I was excited to go through all the work that's involved to have. And luckily this year, Greg decided to come, and as you'll see, he's one of the best. He's regarded as one of the best in the country. And beyond that, he's just such a wonderful person. He's been here since Wednesday. We've had a great time, great getting to know him. He's fun, he's kind, he's kind of smart, and a great poet. So without me blabbing anymore, Gregory and Lara Wallace.
Alan just said, luckily Greg decided to come, but it's like lucky for Greg he decided to come, because this has been a totally wonderful experience for me, and I feel like I've made two lifelong friends in Alan and Evie, and I want to know where they were for the rest of my lifetime. You know? They showed up. Well, better late than never. That's all I can think. And then there's Lara here. She'd be cool. Anyway, the poems we're going to do tonight, this is a book of lyrics, random lyrics. It's too thick to read, too many poems. So if by some chance you decide to read it, do not read it. Just sort of read in it, you know what I mean? Please, because I mean, the way I learned that this was a book that was too long, people wouldn't read it, is when I brought it out. I mean, come on, I've been writing for 50, 60 years, I've written 12 books, I've written books about poetry, and nobody responded to it. You know, it's like, okay, it's thick, you know? It's not a novel. You can't read poems like that. So anyway, if you do, just be kind to yourself. Don't read too many. Here are the poems. We're organized by seasons. The poems are pretty simple. None of them has titles except the first one. And, oh, God forbid, you know, there was a handout that was sort of trying to orient you to some of the ideas in here. And if you had a chance to read that, then it might, some of the poems might not seem so cryptic. And if you did get a chance to read it, good luck. We'll do what we can. We'll try to meet you halfway. Small ode to the beloved. When I was a child, you were my cat. But also, you were more than that. You were whatever I looked at with wonder. And early on, I sensed I'd lose you. And that proved true. Yet also that somehow you'd return. And even then, I knew I'd never be able to predict what shape you'd take or when you'd come. All I could do was hope I'd recognize you, even if you were disguised, as you so often are. summer. The river has a single song, which is itself. The tree has a song, the bird also. The heart knows all these songs and a million of its own. Neither the river nor the bird can write. The tree moves its branches against the sky all day, as if it's thinking about inventing its own alphabet. But nothing comes of it. So it's still up to us. We're supposed to bring them into the book, make a place for them in our poems. When the beloved appears as a daylily, she has only one arc of the sun to blossom, to blare the orange trumpet of her being loudly into the world. Quick, write a poem. We must prolong her song. To become the tree, that's easy. To be the flower, not so hard. But to become the beloved, that's not allowed. The distance between you, crucial as the poem that bridges it. That space between your two bodies, no matter how closely pressed, it's essential. It defines what it is to be in the world, surrounded by infinite space, balanced on the point of a pin, spinning there, singing your song. Hummingbirds, furious, hot heart beating without surcease. How can those tiny wings cool it? The poem of the beloved, such intensity it can hardly breathe. There's the daisy, white petals and a plush yellow center. And so we begin our anxious interrogation. She loves me not. Plucking it bare like a plump chicken we plan to cook. Daisy comes from day's eye, the sun. A flower as metaphor for the world's splendor. The beloved shining on us all the time, and us with our silly questions. Humid morning, last night's rain becomes sun-dapple on lawns. Earthworm on the walk, doing its slow dance in honor of the world. River inside the river, world within the world. All we have is words to reveal the rose that the rose obscures. Last night, a huge storm. Branches torn from the maple, plants overturned on the porch, spilled from their safe little world, their clay pot with its gallon of dirt. And won't there be worse? Won't it happen to the people we love? Then we'll know sorrow. The branch can't be put back on the tree. We scoop up the earth and cover the roots. Who knows if it will live? If we could have the world without the beloved, would that suffice? Lacks one, lacks both. Did you think that heap of objects was the world? It only becomes the world because of the beloved. She lends it her light. His kiss makes it live. The beloved moves through the world, is the world, becomes the 100 things we love, or the one and only thing or person we love. Shifting, restless, refusing to incarnate in a final form, as if to teach us to keep our eyes moving if we want to see the bird flitting from bush to tree. There it is. No, there. No. It's hidden now. You can't see it, but you can hear its song. Hold off, rain. Of course my garden craves water. But the peonies are in full blossom. If you fall now, their petals will all be scattered. Wait a day. Let them feel the pure joy of opening. Fall tomorrow. Then you can show them love is also a shattering. I wonder if that's funny. Loss and loss and more loss. That's what the sea teaches. The need to stay nimble against the suck of receding waves. The sand disappearing under our feet. Here, where sea meets shore, the best of dancing floors. To be alive, not just the carcass, but the spark. That's crudely put, but if we're not supposed to dance, why all this music? I know that's funny. You don't know. Squander it all. Hold nothing back. The heart's a deep well, and and when it's empty, it will fill again. Sudden build-up of dark clouds, winds roar, lightning announcing downpour. Who says the beloved's appearance can't terrify? Who says she can't arrive as a summer storm? It's time to turn the TV off and listen. That noise, what is it? Maybe it's only crickets. Maybe it's distant music. Maybe people are dancing somewhere not far from here. The beloved among them. Out into the street. We need to investigate to find out what's there, even if it's only crickets. Not to lead us away from the world, but deeper into it. To persuade us she is it. Not all of it, not vastness, but some one thing we love. Isn't that what he's become? Sun-drenched late August days ripening the blackberries along the driveway. Avoiding the briars, leaning over the stalks and pushing aside the yellowing leaves. Each morning, the tart juice turning a little sweeter as the fruit darkens, which is the beloved, which is the world. Autumn. Lingering over it, wanting to make it last longer. Still, it ends. No joy that doesn't cease. No life that goes on forever. The poet writes and puts down his pen. The singer comes to the end of her song. Autumn now, the leaves falling. Beautiful world that persists when words stop. Beautiful words that lift the world in a song of praise that drifts like a leaf in the breeze. Now the leaves are falling fiercely, giving themselves to the wind's will like a technicolor blizzard. Safe in my house, looking out, savoring the poem of wildness, savoring the world's unthinking decision to give itself over entirely. This window between me and the world, like reading a page in the book, taking it in deeply, gladdened by the swirl and swoop of it, gladdened by this emblem of passion, glad also of the glass, of the distance that makes it safe to feel this. The grapes taste good. I hope whoever grew them and picked them was paid well. The poems in the book, free as the air they're made of. What a business, praising the beloved. What a business, loving the world. Autumn and the days grow shorter, squeezing the same radiance into a smaller space. More intense than ever, the beloved's lust for us. She must know we too are getting ready to become a poem. Sudden shower of golden leaves descending from the maple. Shameless beloved undressing in public again. Grief will come to you. Grip and cling all you want. It makes no difference. Catastrophe, it's just waiting to happen. Loss, you can be certain of it. Flow and swirl of the world, carried along as if by a dark current. All you can do is keep swimming. All you can do is keep singing. Humble dazzle of autumn, these leaves on the ground, each one a page in the book, a poem that says, I lived. I was a small part of the whole story. This is my song. This is my glory. Young, I took it all so personally when things vanished. There's a word for that, inconsolable. You'd think, as I grew older, I'd have adjusted to the simple fact that everything's borne away on a ceaseless flood. But then, I'd never have become a lyric poet. Someone with a grudge against the world he loves. Winter. Not to make loss beautiful, but to make loss the place where beauty starts, where the heart understands for the first time the nature of its journey. Love, yes, the body of the beloved as the gift bestowed, but only temporarily, given freely, but now to be earned. given without thought, and now loss has made us thoughtful. That desolation is the door. How be surprised at that? All those moments we shared, only prelude to this painful growing. Her loss forcing it upon us, his absence insisting. Not bliss, never again bliss, but maybe a deeper knowing. How radiant and pale the winter sycamore branches from which the outer bark has peeled and fallen like gray rags. What a gift that the leaves do not obscure its nakedness. The risen body of the beloved, still in this world. Salt on the roads melts the ice. Salt on the heart hardens it. That's not how the book preserves the body. The bitten tongue tastes blood. The tongue utters love. Now the snow is falling even more than an hour ago. The pine in the backyard bows with the weight of it. 2 years ago, my father died. What love we had, hidden under misery, weighed down with years of silence. And now, maybe the poem can free us. Maybe the poem can express the love and let the rest slide to the earth as the snow does now, freeing the tree of its burden. The book said we were mortal. It didn't say we had to be morbid. The book said the beloved died, but also that she comes again, that he's reborn as words. The book said everything perishes. The book said that's why we sing. Snow on the tree branch vanished by noon. That feeling I had, it's gone too. Something about the wonder of it. Poem of the snow on the tree branch. It's still there. It's winter, and I think of spring. It's dark, and I feel the light that comes out of the body of the beloved that fills the room as it filled the life. Alone in the dark, you are a body, and the book is another body, is the body of the other, the beloved, which is the world. Time isn't a door that only opens to shut. Time isn't the lamp that's on, then clicks off. Time is the great wheel of it. Winter, then spring. Time is the great whirl of it. The dance in which we hold close the body of the beloved. Hold tight for dear life. Long night on the road. Huge distance between two cities. Distance also between radio stations. Only static coming through. Stop for coffee at this diner. Need to wake up. Need to consult the little book of the jukebox and hear the beloved sing my song. The world so huge and dark, it swallows our cry. But we're no longer lost. The beloved has heard us, and even now approaches. We move toward each other like two words that will join in a poem. A small poem, a little song, but one in which we're not alone. Do words outlast the world they describe? Do the things fall away, leaving only the husks of their names? And what does their perishing ask of us? Lift up, lift up. A song could redeem them. A poem could fill them with life again. Don't we owe the world at least that much that gave itself so freely to us? Why should it all be lost? Why should time take away that day by the river? Surely the storerooms of oblivion are full to bursting. Surely to bring back that single scene in all its glory wouldn't harm the order of things. If only in the words of a song or poem. If only for a moment, restoring that moment. Snow on the mountain this January morning, though the sky's blue. Must have fallen last night. More gray hairs on my head every month. My mustache almost completely white now. Too many funerals. Not enough weddings. Not enough birth announcements. I hope the beloved isn't losing ground. Death of the body. How many poems in the book urge us to accept it? Death of the heart. All of them insisting we better not. Has the moon been up there all these nights and I never noticed? A whole week with my nose to the ground, to the grind. And the beloved faithfully returning each evening as the moon. Where have I been? Who has abandoned whom? Yearning for permanence, and who wouldn't? Longing to believe it will last forever, but what does? Nothing I know of. Even the things that seem to stand still flow slowly into other forms. The beloved's first and only lesson. Everything that is becomes. Some phrases move slow as a worm chewing a tunnel through dirt. Others swift as a bird. Oh, it's the beloved they're seeking. She could be hiding above. He could be buried below. Sorrow songs, trying their best to digest the thick dark. Songs of joy, whizzing past so fast, they're gone before we notice. Cat curled asleep on my lap, beloved as love's sponge. Dog gazing up from the floor, all calm and liquid eyes, all fountain. Spring. Of course, a book about living has to be filled with dying. And a book of joy will be full of sorrow. Why else winter? Why else the bones of trees against the gray sky? But could you stay in winter? Could you brace your shoulder against the great wheel and halt its slow roll? Could you stop a single bush from sending out its new leaves, from flowering? Winter was long. The ground froze. The heart also. The river hid inside its silver armor. Who could blame it? Spring now, things thaw. Even those who were hurt and harmed are eager to feel again, eager to need. Sometimes the world, sensing my fear, tries its best to woo me. In the past, I've pretended that, like quantum physics, I'm hard to get. But I'm too old to be coy and suspect it's time to confess. Don't bother. I was yours from the start. I saw my own body stiff and dead under a tree. I saw the beloved bend over my corpse and breathe life in through my mouth. And again, I was alive inside. I felt my lips loosen and shape the vowels of desire. I knew I would rise and walk in the fields. I felt love move through my veins, felt it move through all things in the world. How the crocus pops up, leafless stalk and purple blossom cup out of bare mud, as if it couldn't wait any longer. Not even the grass has ventured forth. Ice and snow could still return. What does the beloved care? So eager to begin again, to welcome the new life. In the spring swamp, the red-winged blackbird perched on a cattail stalk. Have you heard its song? If you have, no need of heaven, no need of divine resurrection. It's one of those bird songs that hold a spot in the book, saving that space until a human song comes along, worthy to replace all that wordless love. If to say it once and once only, then still to say yes. And say it complete. Say it as if the word filled the whole moment with its absolute saying. Later for but, later for if. Now, only the single syllable. It is the beloved. It is the world. Ask the tree or the house. Ask the rose or the fire hydrant. Everything's waiting for you to notice. Everything's waiting for you to wrap your heart around it. That music has been playing since you were born. You must be mad to resist it. Always the beloved surrounds us, eager to dance. All we have to do is ask. I know now the beloved has no fixed abode, that each body she inhabits is only a temporary home, that she casts off forms as eagerly as lovers shed clothes. I accept that he's just passing through that flower or that stone. And yet, it makes me dizzy the way he hides in the flow of it, the way she shifts in fluid motions, becoming other things. I want to stop him, if only briefly. I want to lure her to the surface and catch her in this net of words. Doesn't the world demand we dance? Doesn't it insist on it? Look at the leaves. Look at the weeds. Look at the least blade of grass in the breeze. None of them begs off or offers excuses. None of them refuses. For weeks now, I've been lost in the maze of spring's profusions, lazily wandering around, neglecting so much, ignoring my garden, heeding instead the willow's green singing, imagining it was the beloved, listening to the frog's chorus and thinking so also. And now, a pair of wrens has given me a comeuppance. They've built their nest in my weeding basket that hangs from a hook in the open shed. 3 round, pale eggs. This is what was bequeathed us. This earth the beloved left, and leaving, left to us. No other world but this one. Willows and the river and the factory with its black smokestacks. No other shore, only this bank on which the living gather. No meaning but what we find here. No purpose but what we make. That and the beloved's clear instructions turn me into song, sing me awake.